Let's do a what if. What if Kandi actually got the chance to say, I told you so? How horrible would that be? And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 11, episode 11 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And like I said, wouldn't it be horrible if Kandi got the chance to say, I told you so, to Porsha, of all people? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. We start right back where we ended. Porsha has these camera balls along with this imaginary pregnancy covering, is what I'll call it. You know, when you're pregnant, nobody's going to hit me because I'm pregnant. I can say anything I want. I'm pregnant. But Kandi don't know you're pregnant, and if you keep on barking at Kandi, Candi's going to smack the shit out of you. And she's getting ready to leave. She had gotten up and she was ready to leave. And you know, last week in my comments, there was a lot of comments about how Porsha's so tough and she always stands up for herself and she's always ready to go at it. When is Porsha so tough and so bad? When is this? When does this go on? Because, to be quite honest, the one time we saw Porsha get into some real deep stuff was her and Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore's not a fighter. So anybody to jump on and beat up Kenya Moore, big deal. She ain't no fighter. And truth be told, when Porsha jumped up and snatched Kenya, Porsha was as shocked as Kenya. You know, you see somebody who they get all filled up, because Kenya Moore is one of those. You know, her mouth is so vicious to where you can just snap. And I've had moments when I've snapped, and when you look around, I'll be in the midst of right mid motherfucking windmill, and you'd be like, how did I even get here? You know, and that's what happened with Porsha and Kenya. When Porsha knew anything, they were both on the floor, and it was like, how did I get down on this floor? Child, you done snatched this bitch. But it was a moment of, you know, of a loss of control is what it was. You know, call it what it is. Tough? No. Girl, that ain't you. You ain't no tough bitch. You know, you ain't nobody's worried about. It just kind of is what it is. Then that little stuff with Jamie. Jamie's old scared bitch that was running. That bitch was running. She's running down the street, so no, you don't get no kudos that you beat up a bitch that was running from you. Like, who does that? Like, nobody's worried about that. So I don't know where it is y'all got that Porsha's so tough. When did Porsha get tough? She, what? She kicked Cynthia? Or no, Cynthia kicked her. Because she ran up on Cynthia, and Cynthia was on a damn lawn chair, and Cynthia kicked her up off of her. Like, I don't get why she's so tough. She ain't never ran up on Marlo. She ain't never ran up on Sheree. She ain't never ran up on Nene. And I don't even think Nene's tough. I think Nene's just a whole lot of mouth, but she ain't run up on that Amazon. Come on, look at her track record. Kenya Moore, scared ass Jamie, and Cynthia. Let's not pretend like Cynthia is the Naomi Campbell, honey. You know, she'd have ran up on Naomi, honey. Naomi would have gave her a call from around the world, honey. Walk up, honey, don't play. Anyway, I ain't buying that. I ain't thinking about Porsha. Porsha full of shit. And she was just getting off because she's pregnant, screaming and calling Kandi bitches and whores and carrying on. I wasn't feeling it. Then Kandi was like, I'm out of here because if I don't leave, it's going to get ugly up in here. I'm about to tear up your house. So they talked Kandi out of leaving, got everything all settled down. And then they were having this fabulous party, and it really is a fabulous party over there at Tanya's house. And when they said we're going to go to the hibachi room, and they get to the hibachi room, and there's an actual hibachi table and actual hibachi chefs getting down, I said, "Oh, this is nice." Gave everybody a silk kimono to wear, really nice, really nice. And they said it was a little hot in there, so they ended up, or making their order, and they went outside. Shamari, you hungry bitch. I said, girl, we ain't seen nobody hungry like this but since Kandi. Kandi's the only one, we always laugh at Kandi because anytime there's a scene where there's food, most of the time you don't even see people eating. They're doing arguing or whatever it is they're doing. Kandi is eating. Kandi don't miss a meal. She don't miss a chance to eat. And I'm laughing at these women who are women who are always watching their figure, but they be so hungry. Every time you see food in a scene, Cynthia's trying to eat. I said, okay, and now we got Shamari. Teeny tiny. Honey, hungry as hell. Said, you girls better get y'all something to eat and quit playing, honey. Come on over to the dark side, honey. That old trying to be thin and trim, honey, and sitting around hungry. I just laughed at her. And then she did her little speech about how she get ready to drink up all the liquor in the woman's house, honey. Yeah, my twins ain't here. And I said, girl, we don't want to hear that story again. Girl, go on and drink up all the liquor like you want to, honey. Mess. Shamari. Anyway, so they get everything calmed down. They go outside. And then they explain to them why they're actually there. Tanya apologizes to Nene about the whole thing with the glasses and swag boutique and all of that. Eva apologizes to Nene about the bachelorette party, and they tell everybody, we're going to take everybody to Tokyo. I said, oh, okay, we're going to have another bachelorette party. I said, that's interesting. They were all happy. Marlo was so goddamn clean. Did you see Marlo painted in that damn dress? I was like, oh, Marlo. It was just literally just painted on her. I was like, girl, cute dress, cute hair, everything. I was like, Marla was clean as hell. I said, too bad ain't nobody looking, girl. She's looked like she was on her way somewhere. I said, girl, she looks sharp. Anyway. So, Nene, why are you so damn shady? She get up in that confessional, her shady ass. I said, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? She sat there and then tried to read Tanya, talking about, yeah, you came to Swag Boutique. I know I'm not, I'm not high end. No, Nene, you're not nothing. You're not nothing. First of all, you ain't designed nothing. Secondly, all you did was sign your name on some fucking kimonos, some wrap dresses, and some rectangular cut blouses, bitch. And that does not make a designer. You are not a designer, okay? You are a joke. Go sit down and stop this. They're going to say, Tanya, I'm not low end, but your budget must have been low end. You know good and well her goddamn budget wasn't low end. Good and goddamn well. And that girl, stop. Just ridiculous. I like the friendship of Tanya and Eva. Now that I like. I like their little interaction. I like them two together. But anyway, and then Porsha, you old troublemaking rockhead ass. Why you would sit over there and make trouble, talk about, oh yeah, Eva brought up that old ass conversation from, what was that, episode 2 or 3, that y'all had that conversation when y'all went to work out, and she said something about, it was something ageist about Cynthia. But why are you bringing that up now? What are you trying to accomplish? Intent. That's the thing. Intent. What was your intentions? I know you didn't think that Cynthia was going to think it was funny So why'd you bring it up, whore? Sitting over there miserable. See, because misery loves company. You over there mad as hell at Kandi, and you got secrets. And sitting around there being pregnant, having your gut full of a baby ain't the only secret you got. But we're going to talk about that later. Why are you so mad at Kandi, bitch? Anyway, Porsha, I, I just, I didn't understand what her intent was. But Eva just apologized again because first she's backpedaling. I'm like, God damn it, Eva, you did say it. But that was that. Cynthia said, that's right, I'm mother, honey. Remember, I did win the runway contest. Yes, you did, baby, and you should have. Anyway, but they apologized, got it over with. It was shady, and I didn't understand the purpose. Let's talk about Nene and Greg. Nene, I feel sorry for her. Greg, you're a bad patient. You're a bad patient. And we only saw a little bit on here. We saw just a small snippet of what Nene goes through on a day-to-day basis with Greg. And Greg's ass is crotchety. He's crotchety, he's short, and quite mean. The way he spoke to that chef was unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. I said, Greg, I was embarrassed. It was like seeing your uncle just acting ass for no reason. And who's going to correct him? You know, that's how I felt. When he says she's not a vegan chef. If she says she's a vegan chef, goddamn it, Greg, she's a vegan chef. She ain't a vegan chef because you having a bad day. And then the thing is, you want to go down to the hospital and you want to hear good news. You don't want to hear anything bad. Well, if there's no good news to tell, there's no good news for them to give you. And then you didn't follow doctor's orders. You decided on your own that you want to do this other thing. You want to do this holistic method and all of this, and you just going to wish for the best. You're going to put everything on your faith. And that's fine. And I can actually say, yeah, I know how you feel, Greg. There's a lot of people who can, and there's a lot of people that will say they know how you feel, but I actually know how you feel. I know how it feels to not know what the next day is going to bring. Am I going to be here next month? Am I going to be here next week? I know what that feels like. I've been there. I've done that. Now, I'm believing that my journey was a little bit easier to reach a peace of mind than Greg because I was leaning on modern medicine and my faith, not just 100% my faith, and turning down the modern medicine. So I'm sure I reached peace of mind a bit easier than Greg, but I can't, me personally, it's a pet peeve of mine. I can't give a pass to bad behavior when it comes to people who are sick. Because you're sick, yes, but everybody else doesn't have to pay the price because you're sick. It's not right. And the way that Greg's acting, I can imagine that gets very old very fast. It was nasty. It was, like I said, hard to watch. Then we go to the party. Greg has this birthday party. Everybody's there. His family is there. And through the party, they actually decided they were going to do like taste testing on some of the foods and things that the chef's going to be making for Greg. They have decided to basically change their eating habits and the lifestyle as a family, which is really, really cool. That'll make it a lot easier. You know, when like dieting and stuff, when other people are dieting with you and holding you accountable, it makes things easier and smoother. Makes it an interesting, sometimes fun journey. Um, and like I said, you could just see Greg is just grouchy, very grouchy. Um, his sister was speaking with Nene, and I was like, oh my god, you know, people want to be heard and they want to be acknowledged. Okay, And I just don't think that the sister-in-law was basically doing that. She wasn't doing a good job at it. Nene was very careful of the things that she was actually saying to sister-in-law. You know, because what she really wanted to say, I'm about sick of his black ass, is what she was really wanting to say. You know what I mean? And the sister-in-law was just a little dismissive for me. It was just kind of like, yeah, I hear you, bitch. That's how it came across. And I was like, oh, thank you for being there for my brother, bitch. Thanks, bitch. That's just how it came across. And Nene was wanting to be heard and wanting to be acknowledged. And y'all know I'm not no real big Nene fan. I don't not like Nene, but I don't really. I can take her or leave her. But at that point, I wanted to really walk into the scene and just grab her up and just embrace her. You know, just hug her because that's what she needed at that time. She wanted to be acknowledged and comforted. You know, that this is going to be okay. Yes, she signed up for better or worse, but goddamn, old crotchety ass, mean ass damn man. You know, I'm like, So I felt really bad for Nene in that instance. I really did. Anyway, enough of that. Um, you know, I don't want to soapbox too much, but I made a conscious effort not to really take my mother through any changes. My mother's the only one who showed up for me in my time of need, and I just made sure that I didn't take her through any more than I had to. You know, I didn't give my mother grief. I just didn't do it. If there was something, if I was really in pain and stuff, child, I went to sleep, child. Just try to go to sleep or just deal with her, get out of her sight, you know, to keep from, you know, because my mother was a ticking time bomb, honey. She was mean as hell at the time when all that was going on. She was just, you know, the littlest thing, you know, but I mean, come on. You got this person who has two children. She's raised her children, and now you're here and you're dealing with me and everything that has to do with my two children all on your own. Nobody helping you. You know, you're from this large family, and it just basically nobody cares. You know, none of her first and second. She had one cousin that actually called and said, "Girl, you okay? Everything all right?" But I have this huge family, and where were these people? You know what I mean? So it was a lot. It was a lot on her. So dealing with all that, do you really think she actually needed me being crotchety and grouchy and mean? On top of it, I just wasn't doing that. I just refused to do that to my mom. I wouldn't do it. And I don't expect Greg or anybody to be just like me, but it just seems to be a lot to be putting on people who are trying to help you. And I'm going to get off the soapbox at this point and leave that alone. But I'm bum bum bam it, and that's that. Greg, go sit your motherfucking ass down somewhere and chill out. Nene, girl, hold it together. Please don't fuck up your marriage behind this. It's gonna get better. But I understand. Moving on. Cynthia and Mike. Cynthia and Mike had what I'm going to call a questionnaire luncheon. It was very cute. Very cute, very fun to watch. It was Kandi, Marlo, and Eva. It was very lighthearted. It was intrusive as hell. And it was fun. It was fun. They allowed 3 minutes per person for them to ask Mike Hill whatever they wanted to ask them as pertains to the relationship with Cynthia. And it was just cute. It really was. I'm not gonna go into details. It was cute. Mike Hill is a cornball. He's a cornball, and like Candy's questions were all sexual. And when he answered the one question and said, "I'm gonna tear that ass up," and I just looked, and it just didn't even sound natural coming out of his mouth because he's a square. I was like, "Yeah, okay, Mike Hill." And then they drug Will. The ex-boyfriend just drug him. I said, "Oh my god!" But that was a fun scene. I liked it. Kandi and Shamari, we seen them pair up, and they went down and they did a whole shopping for this adult variety show that Kandi did. We heard about that in the blogs, honey. It was she turned lemons into lemonade with a squeeze of lime, honey. It was that whole thing about the sex dungeon and all that. That bitch turned it into an event, honey, and made money off of it. I said, kudos to you, Kandi. That was cute. Okay, last thing we're gonna talk about. Ding Dong Mary, Porsha. Porsha goes down to see Dr. Sherry. You all may remember Dr. Sherry. Dr. Sherry was there for her. She's a therapist. She did the anger management stuff. She was actually the therapist for her when she went through some of the stuff with Cordell. And here you are, back at Dr. Sherry again. But you keep on pumping out that everything is so perfect and everything is so fabulous. She got down there, she talked about Dennis, she talked about Kandi, she talked about being thrown out of that party, she talked about the questionable behaviors in Dennis. I said, oh, you don't say. And the more she talked, the more the doors opened up. I said, oh, no. You and Dennis agreed to stop texting and being in contact with your exes. And you went cold turkey, but Dennis didn't. No. So that whole shit that actually happened at Kandi's party was really due to the fact that Dennis hadn't stopped talking to this girl via text. So she felt okay to roll up to Dennis, have a conversation and hug him and kiss him. Oh. She talked to Dr. Sherry about that. And now it's in such a place you're just, it's too late. I mean, it's too late. You got months down the road of wasted time, belly full of baby, and now we got all these things going on that you're unhappy with Dennis about. And these are all these things that, no, not Big Head Kandi Burruss was telling you these same things. These are some of the things that she was saying. You're not going to have to eat crow, are you, boo? Kandi not going to be able to stand over top of you. Every man wants to. Last thing we saw Porsha talking to Dennis, and it was very dismissive. Like, oh, girl, ain't nothing. That ain't mean nothing. It was this. It was the bullshit. The bullshit. All I needed you to do was do like you said you were going to do, and you didn't do it. That, I hate to say beginning of the end, but that's what it feels like. It's at least the beginning of where the problems start with Dennis and Porsha. The honeymoon's over already. And he acted like it ain't no big deal. I said, just go hit him. Hit him one time. It was a mess. But I just can imagine if we run into a issue and a period where Porsha has to stand flat-footed in Kandi's face and Kandi is able to say, I fucking told you so. That is not going to be good. Anyway, I'll talk to you all next week. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it in the comments. Do you agree? Do you not agree? What's up? Comments. Later.